Hello everyone, here we are. We're going to do Job 17, but I want to do one thing first. Last night I mentioned something, we went to Enduring Word, the commentary, to find out, to sort of parse out a scripture. And I'm going to read that scripture to you again. Earth, do not cover my blood. This is Job 16:18. May my cry never be laid to rest. Even now my witness is in heaven. My advocate is on high. My intercessor is my friend. As my eyes pour out tears to God on behalf of a man, he pleads with God as one pleads for a friend. Now I want to go to Enduring Word because I had said, oh, wait, this is completely different. It's not completely different. It was my mistake. When he says at the end of this, when he says, oh, that one, matter of fact, I'm going to read it the way it's written here. O earth, do not cover my blood, and let my cry have no resting place. Surely even now my witness is in heaven, and my evidence is on high. My friends scorn me, my eyes pour out tears to God. Oh, that one might plead for a man with God as a man pleads for his neighbor. My discrepancy was that it says as one pleads for a friend. So I was thinking it was like, I seem to remember, I might be rehashing something I don't need to rehash, but just to make it clear that the Bible is consistent. The wording may be different per some versions, but it is the same thing. Oh, that one might plead for a man with God as a man pleads for his neighbor. That's all I want to say. So I hope you get it, that the two of them are the same. So let's pick it up with Job 17. And this is still Job speaking. My spirit is broken. My days are cut short. The grave awaits me. Surely mockers surround me. My eyes must dwell on their hostility. Give me, O God, the pledge you demand. Who else will put up security for me? You've closed their minds to understanding, therefore you won't let them triumph. If anyone denounces their friends for reward, the eyes of their children will fail. God has made me a byword to everyone, meaning people are saying, God, did you hear what happened to Job? Did you see what happened to him? A man in whose face people spit, kicking people when they're down. Typical. My eyes have grown dim with grief. My whole frame is but a shadow. The upright are appalled at this. The innocent are aroused against the ungodly. The innocent are aroused against. Nevertheless, the righteous will hold to their ways, and those with clean hands will grow stronger. But come on, all of you, try again. I will not find a wise man among you. My days have passed, my plans are shattered, yet the desires of my heart turn night into day. In the face of the darkness, light is near. If the only home I hope for is the grave, if I spread out my bed in the realm of darkness, if I say to corruption, you're my father, and to the worm, my mother or my sister, where then is my hope? Who can see any hope for me? Will it go down to the gates of death? Will we descend together into the dust? Wow, poor Job. All right, then Bildad the Shuhite replied. Let's hear what Bildad says. When will you end these speeches? Be sensible, and then we can talk. Why are we regarded as cattle and considered stupid in your sight, you who tear yourself to pieces in your anger? Is the earth to be abandoned for your sake, or must the rocks be moved from their place? The lamp of a wicked man is snuffed out. The flame of his fire stops burning. The light in his tent becomes dark. The lamp beside him goes out. The vigor of his step is weakened. His own schemes throw him down. His feet thrust him into a net. He wanders into its mesh. A trap seizes him by the heel. A snare holds him fast. A noose is hidden for him on the ground. A trap lies in his path. Terrors startle him on every side and dog his every step. Calamity is hungry for him. Disaster is ready for him when he falls. It eats away parts of his skin. Death's firstborn devours his limbs. Boy, I don't think these, I don't think these heavy metal bands could do any better lyrically than what we're reading here. I'm telling you. He is torn from the security of his tent and marched off to the king of terrors. Fire resides in his tent. Burning sulfur is scattered over his dwelling. That's interesting because hell is burning sulfur. His roots dry up below. And you remember, Bildad's talking about the wicked and what happens to them. He's saying, no matter what happens, you're not going to go down with the wicked, Job. His roots dry up below and his branches wither above. The memory of him perishes from the earth. He has no name in the land. He's driven from light into the realm of darkness and is banished from the world. He has no offspring or descendants among his people, no survivor where once he lived. People of the west are appalled at his fate. Those of the east are seized with horror. Surely such is the dwelling of an evil man. Such is the place of one who does not know God. Then Job replied, how long will you torment me and crush me with words? 10 times now you've reproached me. Shamelessly you attack me. If it's true that I've gone astray, my error remains my concern alone. If indeed you would exalt yourselves above me and use my humiliation against me, then know that God has wronged me and drawn his net around me. Though I cry violence, I get no response. Though I call for help, there's no justice. He has blocked my way so I cannot pass. He has shrouded my paths in darkness. Once again, talking about those things that are insurmountable that we cannot change. Circumstances are of the Lord, okay? So think before you mock somebody or berate somebody, and hopefully you wouldn't do that, for their circumstances. You know, like, get a job, you lazy bum. Well, in these days, there's jobs everywhere. But the point I'm making is be careful because circumstances are of the Lord ultimately, to give that person an opportunity to praise him, serve him, turn to him, come to him, etc. Okay, so it's really not, it's not our business to be cruel to people who are in suffering circumstances. And this is what Job is saying to his friends. You guys are being cruel to me. You're telling me about the terrors of the wicked so that I have to imagine that maybe I'm wicked and I'm going to go there. Your words are cruel. You're frustrated with me, you're impatient, you're terrible, okay? He's just basically saying, you guys are not doing me any favors, is what he's saying, okay? He has blocked my way so I can't pass. He's shrouded my paths in darkness. In other words, he can't see which way to go right now. He has stripped me of my honor and removed the crown from my head. He tears me down on every side till I'm gone. He uproots my hope like a tree. His anger burns against me. So what I hear Job saying is, this is all God. God has got me in a position here. I don't see anybody else to be my enemy right now except God. God is doing this to me. Okay, so this is what I'm getting loud and clear over all of this. His anger burns against me. He counts me among his enemies. His troops advance in force. Whether Job is being wise about this or not, we'll see, okay? But he really keeps pointing to God and saying, don't make it worse for me, my friends. Back off, because I've got God against me, and that's the worst that could happen. His troops advance in force. They build a siege ramp against me and encamp around my tent. He's alienated my family from me. Oh, my Lord, does that make me want to cry? Can you believe that I, who's completely alienated from my daughter and my granddaughter, am actually reading this in Job? Job's cry, he has alienated my family from me. Do you know how many times I've said that to people on the phone, in person, in letters, in emails, in texts, crying, crying, crying. He has alienated my family from me. So maybe it's God's doing, and underneath it all, I do believe that God is organizing everything. I told you that I started to feel like I was going to be punished if I continued to hanker after my granddaughter. It was time to let go. God was bringing that axe of separation down. God is in charge of my circumstances. I can't change them. I'm powerless to change them. And it does make me cry. This is how it is sometimes, folks. Reality. Reality, God, the definition of God in Webster's is the ultimate reality. People do drugs because reality is too tough on them. Reality's hard. It's unchangeable. It's a brick wall. Life is on its own terms, okay? He has alienated my family from me. My acquaintances are completely estranged from me. My relatives have gone away. My closest friends have forgotten me. My guests and my female servants count me a foreigner. They look on me as on a stranger. I summon my servant, but he doesn't answer, though I beg him with my own mouth. My breath is offensive to my wife. I'm loathsome to my own family. Even the little boys scorn me when I appear. They ridicule me. All my intimate friends detest me. Those I love have turned against me. I'm nothing but skin and bones. I've escaped only by the skin of my teeth. Have pity on me, my friends. Have pity. For the hand of God has struck me. Why do you pursue me as God does? He's saying, stop it. I feel like you're being mean to me, and I'm already in the clutches of feeling that God is being ultimately mean to me. So if God's doing it, could you not do it? Please. Have pity on me, my friends. Have pity, for the hand of God has struck me. Why do you pursue me as God does? Will you never get enough of my flesh? Oh, that my words were recorded, that they were written on a scroll, that they were inscribed with an iron tool on lead, or engraved in rock forever. I know that my Redeemer lives, and that in the end he will stand on the earth. Oh my goodness, here we go with Jesus again. I know that my Redeemer lives. This is in every hymn, that line. It's something that we exult in. We know that our Redeemer lives. We don't serve a dead God. He lives. Buddha is dead. Muhammad is dead. Jesus is alive. And that in the end, he will stand on the earth. And Jesus did, didn't he? And after my skin has been destroyed, yet in my flesh I will see God. I myself will see him with my own eyes. This is what I mean about feeling that Job knows and loves and serves the God more than his friends. That he has more wisdom than they do. And he's just offended right now. He's like, God, how could you do this to me? And he's freaking out and wrestling with God, and God can handle it, okay? So when I hear someone angry at God that doesn't know God, and they're just railing against God, I think to myself, and now I can compare it to Job. For whatever reason, I can say, God's heard Job's anger. He can handle this person's anger. If it starts to get freaky when I'm listening to it, I just, I have empathy when people are angry at God and they curse him and they do all kinds of awful things. And I'm like, and I'm trying to minister to them. God bless them. God can handle it. And often when they say to me, I'm so sorry, I say, you know what? God can handle your anger. And this is why. He's heard Job's. Job cut a path for us, didn't he? And, God can handle it. God's heard Job's anger. He can handle ours. I myself will see him with my own eyes. I and not another. How my heart yearns within me. See, all he wants to do is see the Lord. If you say, how we will hound him, since the root of the trouble lies in him, you should fear the sword yourselves. For wrath will bring punishment by the sword, and then you'll know that there's judgment. I'm really hoping you understand what's happening here. His friends are doing their best, but they're getting impatient. They're speaking all kinds of ways out of turn. They don't understand what Job is going through. Job has a right to complain. He's freaked out. He's traumatized. And he's wrestling with the Lord here. And they just, they should have just been quiet and just mourned with him. But they opened their mouths. And he's had to rebuke them a few times. And now he's saying, you know what? You're going to get judged for this. It's not okay. It's not okay that you're laying sin at my feet, terrifying me with the idea of what happens to the wicked. you know, because the last thing I heard with Bildad wasn't saying, oh, but it's not, you know, he's giving this diatribe about what happens to the wicked, but he's not saying that won't happen to you, Job. He's just terrifying Job with this stuff. So I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. We'll pick it up with Job 20, which will be the middle of the book. Love you. Bye-bye.